Hey everybody, it's Maya and we are extremely overdue for a decluttering video. I'm finally sitting down and I promised this video a whole year ago and it never happened. So I'm finally ready to start decluttering and get rid of the stuff that I don't need, and yeah, because my drawers are getting overflowed at this point. So yeah, let's just get into it. This doesn't have any makeup in it, it's just miscellaneous hair tools and sponges. So we will be tackling this probably tomorrow when I clean my brushes over there. In this drawer, it's completely stacked, as you can tell. It is my eye drawer. It has my eyeliners, mascara, brows, lashes, and mini palettes. But this is so stacked. This drawer up here is strictly skincare and some primers. We will be tackling that. In this drawer, it's overflowing. It is foundation, concealer, and setting powders, and then some primers as well. So I really want to get rid of a lot in this drawer. In this drawer is all my blushes. We got powders, creams, and blush palettes and liquid blushes. I don't plan on getting rid of too many blushes, but I do want to at least organize it and clean it up. In this drawer we have bronzers and highlights and a few palettes sitting there. Don't know what they're doing, so I'm just going to remove them. In the final drawer we got all lip products. So we're just going to take it drawer by drawer, and yeah. Okay, so here's all my skincare laid out. I don't think anyone needs this much skincare in their collection, especially because I probably only use 3 things. Starting with the setting sprays. I love this, so I'm keeping this. I'm almost out of this, so I have to use it up. I gotta keep it. All Nighter I do not use, but it is completely full, so it would be completely wasteful to throw this out, so I have to keep this. Rare Beauty, I love this a lot, so I'm keeping it and I'm almost out. Ciate London Everyday Vacay Coconut. I love the smell of this. I don't know how it does for makeup, but I do like this a lot, so I will be keeping it. Almost out of this as well, so I might as well use it up, but I do love it a lot as well. And then lastly, I have this toner. I honestly think that this smells like nothing, and I think that it's just straight up water. So I think I'm going to declutter this despite it being completely full. I don't see a use out of it at all, and it's just something that's taking up space, so either I can gift it to my sister or something, but I will be getting rid of this. Moving on to cleansers. My main cleansers are in the bathroom, so these are just ones that I have in my drawer that I don't really use. So this is an awesome makeup remover by Undone Beauty. I'm keeping this. I love it so much. This right here is a watermelon energizing peel off mask that I have never used. I'm tossing this. This is also the same exact thing. I'm tossing this as well. I'm pretty sure most of these are expired. They came in my old Ipsy bags. This is a hydrating milky cleanser by Pixi. I honestly, I could use it, but I really don't see the point. It's so small, so I'm throwing this out. This milky toner, however, I will be keeping this. I should probably move it to the bathroom. This tea tree foam cleanser, I don't see the need for it. I'm pretty sure it's expired, as well as the Murad acne control clarifying cleanser. I don't use these, so they just sit in my drawer. I'm never going to use them. I feel bad because they are completely brand new, but I'm tossing it. Okay, next, sunscreen. I have this SPF BFF primer. Absolutely love this in the summertime. This is definitely a keep. Sun Bum body sunscreen. I'm gonna keep it. Sun Bum face sunscreen. This does make my eyes irritated, but I do use it a lot and I do like how it looks on the skin, so I will be keeping it. This Murad Essential C Day Moisturizer with sunscreen in it. It is just a little mini. I've never used it before, so I might as well use it, right? It's so small, and it's by Murad, which is a good brand, so I think I'm going to keep it. And then the Unseen sunscreen, I have to keep it as well. So you can never have too much sunscreen, so I'm going to be keeping all 5 of these. Eye creams, I love this e.l.f. one. It is so hydrating. And this one right here, I have to smell it. I want to see. I have not used it, so I want to see if it's expired or not. It smells pretty expired, so I'm going to toss this. I don't see myself reaching for it. Eyeshadow primers. I have not used an eyeshadow primer in a minute. This Rare Beauty one is basically all out, And this Too Faced Shadow Insurance one, I don't reach for it. I'm gonna toss both of these because I've just been using concealer and setting powder and it's been perfectly fine. Let's move on to actual primers now. I don't know how I feel about this, but I want to keep playing with it because a lot of people love it, so I'm going to keep it for now. However, this one, as much as I do like it, I don't reach for it. I got a bad taste in my mouth from it because I was looking at reviews right after I bought it and a lot of people said they didn't like it too much, so I haven't really reached for it, so I think it's time to part ways. The e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer, I honestly do not use this at all. I have tried so many times and I just don't like how it sits on the skin. I have so much left, but at the end of the day, this isn't something that I reach for. It's just inconvenient for me, so I think I'm gonna toss it. It's not like there's nothing wrong with keeping it. There's other things I like better, so there's not too much left in here, but I really don't see myself reaching for it. Let me smell it really quick. Loki has that expired scent as well, so I'm gonna get rid of this. Both of these were in my Ipsy subscription like over a year and a half ago, so I'm tossing them. I don't care, they're probably expired. I just got this for my birthday, so I'm going to keep this. This as well. This, I only have a little bit left, but I think I'm gonna throw it out because there's really not too much left and might as well just make room. As well as where I think I can get some more uses out of this. I love this primer so much, so I'm gonna put this on my shelf and use up the rest of it. Same with the PYT. Actually, no, I'm throwing this out. It's pretty much empty. This right here, I have mixed feelings about as well. I don't really like pore filling primers. The only one that I like is the Rare Beauty one. This one made my makeup look kind of separated. If you apply you have to be careful with how much you apply, and I don't like when primers do that. I think I'm going to keep it for now and use it a little bit more, and if I don't like it, then I'll get rid of it. Same with this. I love the way this sits on the skin. I don't use it as much, but I'm going to try to. This is a moisturizer. I don't know why I have it in the primer list, but honestly, like, I'll use it, but it doesn't really hydrate my skin. It just sinks right in and I feel dry, so I don't know. I think I'm going to use it just as like a nighttime moisturizer, but I don't like it that much. And then the Undone Beauty Primer. I love this. Keep. Moving on to hand creams. This one is pretty much gone and all gross, so I'm going to throw this out. I have not used this before, but it looks cute. There's a goat on it, so I'm going to keep it. And this one is just super full, so I'm going to keep that. So we're keeping 2, tossing 1. Alright, now we're moving on to moisturizers. Both of these Glow Recipe watermelon drops are my favorite, but they're both completely empty, so I'm gonna toss them. I didn't get around to tossing them yet. Same with the Rhode products. They're literally empty. There's like a little bit left, but it's super hard to get out, so I'm just gonna toss them. These 2 little samples by Pixi, they're probably 2 years old. We have a Hydrating Milky Lotion and then a Rose Fresh Balm. I did like these, but I don't like mini stuff, so I'm gonna part with these. Honestly, I'm gonna part with all of these as well. I don't like minis. Like, they just sit in my drawer and take up space, and they could be the most amazing product, but I'm just never gonna use them, so I'm tossing them. This clarifying oil-free water gel, I do love this a lot. I'm keeping it. This is extremely old. This is probably like 4 years old, so I think I'm gonna toss it, even though it was one of my go-tos when I first started makeup. If you followed my channel and you saw one of my very first videos, I was using this, but it's like 4 years old, so I don't know if these things have an expiration date. It says 18 months, so it's well past the expiration date, so it's leaving. This night replenisher, I have mixed feelings about. It makes my makeup, like, I can't wear it underneath makeup, which sucks, but it's a really good nighttime moisturizer, so I'm going to keep it for that. But I like when moisturizers work as a primer as well, and this is not one of them. But there's so much in here and it is good for nighttime, so I'm going to keep it. As well as this face cream, I really like it for nighttime as well, just not really as a primer, but I'm going to keep it. This Murad Oil and Pore Control Makeup, and it has SPF in it too. I don't really use this. I haven't used it before, so I'm going to give it a shot because it's by Murad and that's an expensive brand. But yeah, I'm gonna put this in my basket and try to get some more use out of it. And then this Vitamin E facial moisturizer is perfect for primer and for replenishing your skin, so I'm gonna keep this. as well as this overnight de-stressing cream. I love this. Lastly, let's go with the serum. So this will be easy. I'm keeping Merit. I love it. Keeping the Skin Ink one. I love it. Throwing this one out because it's empty. It's by 1-1 Skin or 111 Skin. I've had it for like 4 years. It's empty now. Keeping my celery serum. It's my go-to. I will be throwing this Farsali thing out. It's really expired and it smells gross. I'm also going to be throwing out this facial oil. It's just really bad packaging and it smells weird too. Throwing out this Farsali one as well. This rose gold thing. It just, they don't keep well. And this necessarily, it doesn't smell gross. It is just a moisturizer, but I don't like it. Like I didn't really see any use out of this. Kahi Multi Balm. I really like it, so it's staying. Decluttering this Belief Cream. I don't like the packaging. This Kate Somerville moisturizing balm. I love it. It was one of my go-tos in the past and I fell in love with it recently again because I forgot about it, but it's staying. And then this, I don't want to throw this away because it's so cute. It's like a little skincare underneath highlight situation. It has a smiley face on it. I don't use it that much, but I can't get rid of it. It's just too cute, so we're gonna keep it. So we're keeping 6 and we are parting with 5. So this is the skincare now that we are keeping. We got rid of a whole bunch. So we did really well with skincare. We kept 22 items and we decluttered 25. So that's a win right there. Next we have foundations. Over there we got our skin tints, concealers, we have our like glow products, and then setting powders. When I tell y'all, I'm out of breath. Damn, I thought I'd be flying through this and it would be like no work, and I'm like breaking a sweat in here, like damn. So I'm gonna start with obviously a keep Undone Beauty setting powder. As much as I used to love this so much, and then I started using it with a powder puff and I realized that it actually turns my skin yellow because it's not light enough for me. It's a little bit too deep. I don't know if y'all can tell, but it's just a little bit too yellow. I will be keeping it though because I think I have to use it on a brush, but I just can't use it with a sponge or a powder puff like I'm used to. I just have to use a brush for it. Rare Beauty powder, I have like nothing left, so I'm gonna toss this even though it was one of my favorites. Same with the e.l.f. Halo Glow powder. I loved this for the time being, but I'm like all out of it. There's like a little bit on the bottom, but like it's not enough and it doesn't really come out, so I'm gonna toss this. This Ace Beauty powder, it was brand new. I really do like this. I got this at the exact same time as the kimchi, so I've been using the kimchi powder. But this is also really good, so I'm gonna keep it. Kosas Cloud Set, it's gone and it's broken as well, but as you can see there's nothing left. I really like this powder. I was thinking about repurchasing it. I probably might, but it's done for. It needs to go. We got this ColourPop pressed powder. I really like this as well. It's super full coverage too. It like adds a lot of coverage to the skin, which I did not expect. So I'm going to be keeping this. I just have to use it some more because I kind of forgot I had it. Then I have this Clinique like translucent. It's supposed to make you not oily. I do not like this powder puff that it comes with because it just makes you look super cakey. But I originally bought this to keep in my purse so that I could not look as oily throughout the day. I don't really use it as much anymore though. No, I think I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't remember it working that well for me, and it's pure white, so no thanks. This Ciate London Extraordinary powder was my very first powder and it is completely gone. I loved this. I don't know why it's still in my drawer, but it needs to go because it's empty. Same with the Pixie H2O powder. I fell in love with this as well, but as you can see, it's completely empty. So we're going to toss this. And the Laura Mercier, this is a mini powder that I received for my birthday last year for free from Sephora. So I think I'm going to part ways with it just because I have those 4 that I really do like, and there's no need to keep this around if I'm not really going to use it. Next, let's move on to these little glow enhancers. So this Undone Beauty one, I really thought it was going to be a win because I love Undone Beauty. So I bought it thinking I was going to get ahead of the train. I was going to be the first person to discover this, and it was going to be like a super great product, just like the e.l.f. Halo Glow and the Maybelline 4-in-1, whatever that's called. But honestly, this is an absolute flop in my opinion. I think I liked it at first, but I also didn't really know what it did to my skin. It did add a little bit of a pretty glow, but it didn't add coverage in the slightest. And the applicator is just straight up, like, I don't know who designed it, but it's a sponge that you have to squeeze this, and I blew the top off in the first time having it, and it put a mess everywhere. So packaging sucks, and the product isn't that great either, so I'm gonna toss this. I love my e.l.f. Halo Glow, so I'm going to be keeping that, but I think it's time to get rid of the 4-in-1 Perfector from Maybelline. I did like this a lot, however the e.l.f. Halo Glow does exactly that and more. This, I don't like the sponge tip. I feel like it's really nasty, just constantly reusing the same thing, so I will be getting rid of it. As much as I liked it, I think it's time to go. And then this Kosas Glow IV, I haven't really used it that much. I used it in the summer a lot, and I did like it a lot. It's just, you have to apply this very, like, specifically. You have to be very careful because it could look cakey, and it's just, I wish it was easier to apply, but I do like it, and it provides a nice sparkly, like, diamond glow to your skin. And I love Kosas, so I'm going to keep it. Let's move on to concealers. I have a lot here, and we have a lot of work to do. Okay, I don't have a tripod, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm literally like in an arched position on the floor right now, but I want to swatch these and go over them and like have them in my hands, so I need both my hands. I can't hold my camera. Number one, the one-sized concealer. I love this concealer. It is pretty much almost empty though, so I'm gonna keep it and finish using it up, but I pretty much went through this entire concealer. If you're looking for a concealer, I recommend this one. It is absolutely amazing. You don't even need to set it with powder. It is the best concealer I've ever used, and I stand by that, and I want to buy another one. ColourPop Pretty Fresh Concealer. This is a hit or miss for me. The shade is a little bit too dark and yellow for me personally. However, I could get away with wearing it as foundation. It's just really yellow. The way that it wears is not ideal. It gets kind of cakey if you leave it on your skin for too long. Also, it oxidizes on me pretty badly. I think if I had a lighter shade, I would keep it, but for now I think I'm gonna toss it because it's not one that I ever reach for. Then we have this Pixie concealer as well. I have debated getting rid of this in the past a bunch of different times, and I decided to keep it in the past, but since I posted that video a year ago, I've probably worn this concealer one time. And as much as I do like it, it's not a bad concealer. It's the applicator that throws me off. It's like a lipstick applicator. It doesn't, even though the applicator is huge, it doesn't carry a ton of product, which is like weird. So I think I'm going to get rid of this. I don't reach for it. It's okay. It's just not great, but I think I'm gonna get rid of it. Okay, we have 3 Kosas concealers, and right away I think I have to get rid of this one because it's absolutely broken, so goodbye. And then I have these 2. One of them is good, so we're gonna keep that one, and one of them doesn't have an applicator. It broke, but there's a ton of product in here, so I'm debating if I keep this and use this one with the good wand to get some extra product out of it, because it's like, it seems like a waste just to throw this out. I have these 2 Rare Beauty concealers. I have 130N and 180W. I love both of them. They're staying. I have this Jecca Black liquid concealer, and I don't wear it as concealer. I do not like the packaging. It's like, you can't really use a concealer in this way. I feel like it either needs to be a wand or it needs to be a pot. It can't be a squeezable tube. So I usually wear this as foundation. It is just a little bit dark for me. It's more of a summer shade, but I think I'm gonna keep it just as like a skin tint in the summertime. Same with the NYX Serum Concealer. I don't use it as a concealer at all. It's a little bit too dark as well, but I'm keeping it as like a foundation because it wears very pretty. And I have this Il Makiage concealer. I do not like this applicator, and it's a little bit dry. As much as I like the concealer, it's like super thin and lightweight, which you don't want in a concealer. So I think I'm gonna get rid of this finally. I've had it for 2+ years, and it's just, you would think it'd be super full coverage because the foundation is, but the concealer isn't at all. So I think I'm gonna get rid of it. Same with this PYT stick thing. It's kind of like completely dry. I mean, not really, but it smells like Halloween makeup. It smells really gross. I'm getting rid of this. This Flower Beauty concealer, it is one of my favorites as well, but there's like nothing left in here. It's super dry, so I think I'm going to, same thing with the one size, I'm gonna finish using this up and then it's gonna go. But I would definitely repurchase this again. It's an amazing drugstore concealer if you're looking for one, and you can wear it all over as foundation if that's what you like to do. That's what I did with this most of the time, but it's a really good concealer. I have two Glossier concealers here that I've had for like 4 years at this point. I love these so much. I never threw them away because it was like the first product that I fell in love with. This shade is a little bit too light, but there's so much left of it, so I'm gonna keep that. But I have to toss my OG. There's like nothing left, and I'm pretty sure it might be a little bit moldy, so I'm gonna throw it out. But just know, I love these concealers. I don't use them as often anymore, even though I do like them. But I'm gonna keep this one, and I'm tossing this one. I really wanted to fall in love with this Rem Beauty concealer, but I just didn't. I don't know if it's the shade. It's a little bit light for me, and I don't like how I can't fit my finger in the tube sometimes. It's just pretty pale. I can't really wear it all over my face, which is what I like to do with potted concealers. I like to apply them all over instead of spot concealing with them. So I'm gonna keep it, but I just wish I got a deeper shade, but it's fine. I'm gonna keep it. And then we have these two. I thought that was mold, but it's just the packaging that's dirty. These two Undone Beauty concealers, I love them so much. Do I need two of them? Probably not. Look at the shades. Buttercream Medium Light is my favorite. It's perfect, and this one's in Porcelain. It's a little bit too light for me, but I can't. I need to keep both of these. Right, let's move on to my foundations. I'm actually not going to be getting rid of any of my foundations. I like all of them. I literally rotate through all of them most of the time. The only one I would consider getting rid of would be this one, just because I don't have the cap for it, but I do really like the formula of it. I just don't use it as much because of the packaging, but I really love all these foundations, so I'm going to be keeping all of them. But this section, the skin tints, I definitely need to declutter a bunch of these because a lot of them are not my shade, or they're just really old. And yeah, like as you can see, look at all these Undone Beauties. I don't need all of those, but let's begin. So this Sephora little matte thing, I tried to make this work for me a billion times. I don't like a product where you use it and it separates and then you have to like figure out what works with it and what doesn't. And even though thought I figured it out, the shade itself is also really light. I never use this, so I think I'm actually just gonna get rid of it because it's too much of a hassle to keep in my collection at this point. Staying, it's 10 out of 10. Kosas, I think I'm gonna finally get rid of this. I've had it for quite a long time, and with Kosas products, they do have a pretty short shelf life, and this is an oil-based like face oil, like tinted face oil, so I don't know. Smelling it too, it smells like Halloween makeup, so I think I'm gonna finally part with this. I really liked it when it was fresh, but because it's super old now, I've been kind of scared to even apply it to my face. I don't know, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. Rare Beauty Skin Tint, I love this. I wish I had a better shade. I have the shade 16C. I should have went to 17W, I believe. Yeah, I'm keeping this for now. I wish I had a different shade. Just Milani Glow Tint or something like that. I don't know what I was thinking the year I bought these two specifically, Glow Stunner and the Milani Glow thing. I thought that I was deeper than I was. I don't know, I bought super deep shades in these thinking that they would work for me, and they just didn't. They are super deep. I have pictures of me where my neck just does not match my face, and I was like, what was I wearing? And it was one of these two products or both. I liked them. I have reviews on my channel where I'm raving about them, and they're great products. They're just not my shade, so I think I have to get rid of them. And if I want to buy them again, I just need to buy them in a lighter shade because these are not it. These two as well, this I can't really speak for. I bought this as my first foundation. I'm getting rid of this because it's extremely old and doesn't provide that much coverage. This, however, was my first real foundation and I still love it and I wish I could use it. It's just extremely old, so I don't want to apply it because it might be expired. Glossier Skin Tint, there's literally nothing left. This was my absolute favorite as well. I would repurchase it, but there's really no need to because I have the Fenty Ease Drops, which I love. So I think I'm gonna finally get rid of this. I just kept it because, you know, memorabilia and stuff. 7 Undone Beauty tints. I don't know why I need 3 of these, but I don't. Like, why do I need 3? I remember they sent me like the wrong stuff a bunch of times, so I was just left with this same shade. And I literally, these all had such a great run. I was obsessed with them for the longest time. And then this one is in Cream Light. I don't know, it's really hard for me to decide. I'm gonna be keeping all 3 of the mattes because all of these are a different shade. This one was from my favorite YouTuber, Chessie. She sent it to me, and because she was doing a decluttering video and she was getting rid of this, and I was like, well, it might be a little bit too dark for me, but I could always mix it in with one of these, and that's usually what I do. I'll mix these 2 together and it creates a nice shade for me because this one's way too light. So I will be keeping all 3 of those. I think I'm gonna get rid of all 3 of these. Maybe I should keep 2 because these are pretty full and this one's pretty empty. So I think I'll get rid of these 2. This one is too light for me. This one's pretty much empty. And there's no reason to throw one of these out if they're both super full. So for foundation and concealer and powder, this is what we're left with. And we're getting rid of all of that. So that's pretty great as well. Okay, next we have blushes. I don't even know how I have this many blushes. I'm a little bit overwhelmed because I'm looking at all of these and I kind of reach for a lot of them, but I'm gonna try to like tone it down. We got this Maelle blush palette. I love this one. It's really pretty, it's glittery, and it also works as like eyeshadow, so I'm gonna be keeping this. It's stunning. This one is by Mishko Beauty. I'm a little bit on the fence with it because it is really pretty. However, I have most of these shades in my collection elsewhere. I don't really use this one because it's like a really glittery red. These ones are more neutral and this one's like a hot pink, but looking in my collection, I feel like I have most of these. It's a blush palette. Like, I feel weird just not like getting rid of it, but I really don't use this. Like, it's big and chunky. It takes up a lot of space. I don't really ever see myself reaching for it, so I think I'm gonna part ways with this one. This little blush palette by Undone Beauty is really pretty. You got these highlights as well as a nice stunning coral in there as well. It's a little bit too deep for me if I use it as a highlight, but it does give a really pretty glow in the summertime. I don't reach for it as much as I want to, but it's not summer anymore, it's winter, so I'm not using it right now, but I will decide in the summer if I want to keep this or not. It's really stunning. It's just the shades. I'm lean more towards pinks, I feel like, but I'm going to keep this one for now. I'm adding this with the blush palettes because there is a blush in it, but it's like mostly a face palette. This is by Huda Beauty. Really like old, but I did use this pretty recently in one of my TikToks, and I do think it is really pretty. It gives a nice stunning glow to the face. I don't use the little cream portion, but I do use the blush, bronzer, and highlight, and it is a really cute palette to reach for if you're looking for a nice bronzy summer glow. So I will be keeping it for now, but I might change my mind later. This is like a whole eye and face palette by Wander Beauty. I love this. I'm keeping it. Next I have this blush palette from, I think, Too Faced. Yeah. And it smells really good, and I got it a few years ago for Christmas, and I love the blush and the bronzer, but the highlight's a little bit too dark. As much as I like this, I don't really reach for it, so I think I'm going to get rid of it because it's really chunky. Then I have this Kavos Blushing Beauty Luminous Blush Palette. It's like a whole bunch of corals. I think I'm going to keep this because I don't have a lot of coral blushes in powder form, and there's 3 of them right here, so I will keep it. Then I have this Whispering Rose blush palette that's also really nice. It has a bunch of different varieties. Keeping this. I have this Toy Factory blush palette. I love this as well. I'm gonna keep that. Then I have this CoverGirl face palette. I was obsessed with this for the longest time. I don't really reach for it anymore. The highlight is stunning, but it is a little bit too deep for me. And it was something that I used a lot when I first started makeup, but I have so much now, so I don't really reach for this anymore. So I think I'm gonna finally toss it. This girl has been begging to come in my room. The grip she has, her little chihuahua grip. Just got this in an Ipsy bag, this Ofra Miami face palette, and I think I'm gonna get rid of this because the bronzers are too dark, the highlights are too dark, and the blushes just really aren't. Damn, baby. Blushes just really aren't shades that I reach for. I don't really ever see myself coming in here. There's no mirror. I'm gonna get rid of this. It was from Ipsy anyway, so I didn't really pay much money for it, so I'm gonna toss it. I bought this e.l.f. cream face palette, the Electric Mood one, and I did a whole review on my channel and I did like it, but creams just really aren't my thing anymore. In the past, I was just like a cream girly, it's all I wore, and now this is just something I would never reach for. The shades aren't really speaking to me, the highlight. Like, I'm like a more liquid blush and then powder on top person now, opposed to like creams. So I'm gonna get rid of this. I never use this. I love this blush palette. It is like perfect for fall time, so I'm gonna keep that, and it's very versatile as well. And then I have this Pixie blush palette. I did a whole review on my channel. This is an eyes, lips, and face palette, so you can use these as lipsticks and as blush. I loved this so much when I first had it because I was in my cream blush phase, and I was like, I'm never gonna have to buy a cream blush again because I have everything I need right here. But I clearly still kept buying stuff. I will be keeping this though because it is so versatile and nice to have in my collection. I need to use it more. I don't really reach for it as much anymore, but I'm not going to get rid of it. It's still staying. Okay, let's move on to powder blushes. I got two powder blushes by PYT. They're the exact same shade. We have the... Oh, and I dropped it again. We have the newer formula and the old formula. They're both in the shade Flirty though, so I'm going to keep the old formula and we're going to toss this new one since it's broken. If you follow me on TikTok, you see me use this blush all the time. It is just my favorite. It's like a blush and highlight all in one. It is just absolutely perfect. I love it. It's my favorite blush at the moment, so obviously keep. I have this more neutral one and this more corally one. I think I'm going to give them a nice little swatch. I really like how both of those look. I think I'm going to keep both of them, just because I feel like this one, I have a bunch more blushes that look like this one opposed to the corally one, but I really like them both, so they're gonna stay. I have this Physicians Formula blush. It is really cute and neutral. There's a little bit of luminosity to it as well. I hate the packaging, but I love the color, so I'm gonna be keeping this. I absolutely love ColourPop blushes, and all of these are three completely unique shades. We got like a lilac, a hot pink, and then like a true pink, and I'm keeping all three of them. They're some of my favorite blushes. Sorry if y'all hear any crunching. It's my baby being crazy. I'd rather her crunch on her bone than whine outside my door, so I hope y'all don't mind. She's just minding her own business back there. Now if she starts acting up, she's gotta leave, but she's just chilling. This Milani blush was one of my first. People said Milani blushes were great, and I went to the store and I'm like, ooh, Milani blush, and I picked this one up and I've never seen anyone use it. It's so unique. Like, what kind of packaging is this? But I do not like it. I am getting rid of this finally. I don't know why I've kept it so long. I never use this, so it's leaving the collection. Dior blush is staying. I love this blush. I have this Oriza Malibu Sunrise Ombre blush. As stunning as it is, I already have like a bunch of corally blushes that I'm keeping, and this one doesn't do anything different, so I'm gonna get rid of it. It's pretty packaging, but that's all that it is. I just don't see the need for it. I don't like the packaging on the outside. It's just not something that I reach for anymore, so It's leaving. I feel bad, but I don't want to be hoarding stuff that I just don't reach for. Speaking of peachy blushes, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this one's by Ofra, and I will be keeping this one because there is a mirror in there and it is really nice. Sleek packaging. Not sleek, but like it's like a nice package. And the blush itself is really pretty, so I'm gonna keep that one. My kimchi blush. This blush is so pretty, but just wait. This is what happened to it. I know I could probably fix this, but will I ever? Probably not. And am I going to dip my brush into a blush that is completely cracked? No. This was one of my favorite blushes for the longest time, and then it broke. So as pretty as it is, I'm gonna part with it, and maybe I'll buy a new one. Then I have these ColourPop Super Shock blushes. I don't know if these are creams or powders. They're kind of a mixture of both of them. I'm gonna swatch all three of them. This is all three of them swatched. Super, super pretty. The first two are kind of like shimmery, and then the third one's more of a matte. I think I'm going to get rid of the third one though, like this orangey one. I've tried to make it work a few times. I don't like how it looks on my cheeks. It just makes me look like I'm actually blushing or like I'm red opposed to like a nice pretty pink. So the shade's just not flattering on me. I'm going to be getting rid of it, but I will be keeping these two. They are absolutely beautiful. I have this blush by Charlotte Tilbury. As much as I don't really use it as much, I got it as a birthday gift. I'm going to be keeping it because it's like luxury makeup, but I don't really reach for it, if we're being honest. Then I have three more Milani blushes. We're gonna open them and swatch them. Honestly, I am not in love with any of these shades. We got like a neutral pink, a bright red, and then like a cocoa kind of color. So let me swatch these for you guys, just so I have more room and stuff. So this is pink. There's like no color to that. It's very buildable. It's like there's really nothing there. Then we're gonna do the red one. Look at these swatches, y'all. And then the cocoa one. Okay. These blushes are not really giving anything in the swatches. Now, I will say this one is more on the neutral side. Do I need it? I have all those blushes. Do I need this one? I don't think so. I'm going to get rid of it. It's just nothing special. This one is way too dark for me. I was buying this one online, so I didn't really know the color of it, but this one is super dark. I think I'm gonna get rid of this because I've tried to make it work and it just doesn't work for me personally, so it's gonna go. And then this one is really fun to use in the summertime, but again, it's just a shade that doesn't really work for me. I don't really like true red blushes, like orangey reds. I like deep reds and like wine reds, but not orangey reds. Guys, I think I'm going to pair. I think I had my time where I really enjoyed all three of these blushes, but now they're just kind of sitting there and I don't ever touch them. So I think I'm gonna get rid of them. Next is liquid blushes. If you hear any noise in the background, it's Donovan. He's here now. Ignore my brownie. I'm eating that. We have all these liquid blushes. It's like a blush glow drop thing. No one talks about these. They talk about the bronzer drops a lot, but no one talks about these, and they're just as good. So I'm keeping it because I have nothing like it. And I have this Oma by Sharon C lip and blush thing. I really like the shade of it, but it's looking a little thick, so I'm going to swatch it. Swatched it on my wrist, and the formula seems to be good still. I thought it was like too thick, but I'm going to get some more use out of this in the winter time since berry blush is in. Then I have these two Undone Beauty water blushes. I don't use these as much as I would like to. I have a cherry one and a raspberry one. They're both really unique shades, but I don't reach for them, so I don't know. Alright, those big chunky swatches are them. I honestly have shades just like it, and I think I might be getting rid of these though, because I do remember seeing Chessie talk about how hers were growing like fur on them. And ever since that, I was like kind of scared to use them, so I didn't reach for them as much. Even though they're stunning, but I already have a red blush and like a bubblegum raspberry pink blush in my collection. So I think I'm going to get rid of these because other people were talking about mold, and I'm not dealing with that. Next I have these 3 blushes by YC Collection. They're more so on the corally side. I do love the formula of these a lot. They're super pigmented, creamy, and blendable. But do I need all 3 shades? I would feel weird getting rid of either of them. I'm gonna swatch them though. I think I'm just gonna keep them all. I would feel weird getting rid of one and not the others. So I'm gonna keep them from now, but I'm gonna do a declutter at the end of the summer. Or at the beginning of the summer, sometime in the middle of summer, and one of these might go. But for now, I'm just gonna keep them. Then I have this Danessa Myricks Vision Flush in the shade Bread and Butter. And this is really cute. It's like a nice pink, so I'm gonna keep that. I have these 2 cream blushes by Purlisse. I did like these a lot for a moment, but I don't know, I don't like the shades. I have too many oranges, so if I had to have like an orange or peach blush, I would reach for these opposed to these, so I'm gonna get rid of these 2. Rare Beauty, I have these. I'm not getting rid of any of them. They're too expensive, and you can never have too many Rare Beauty blushes. For Glossier blushes, I have these 4 right here. I don't think I could ever get rid of my Glossier blushes. I have so much left in them, and when I feel like using any of these shades, like I'll reach for these. So I'm gonna keep these ones. I don't see myself ever decluttering them unless they just run out. This I got from an Ipsy bag as well, and as much as I like the formula of this, I don't think I like the shade. I'm gonna swatch it and show y'all. It's a really interesting applicator as well. It's super like the Rare Beauty highlights, and it is like a nice little like neon pinky corally blush. I don't really have anything like it, but I might just keep it for now because I don't have any other blushes in this shade. I just don't like how it looks on my cheeks, but maybe I could work with it. I have these 2 blushes, one from Laura Mercier, one from Flower Beauty. They both pretty much are like the exact same formula, a little bit different in shade. I'm gonna keep these just because, I don't know, I feel like opposed to the other cream blushes on my collection, none of them look like these 2. So they're still unique. I have this one from Morphe that I really like as well. And then this one from Daniel Sandler that's messy, but it is really cute. And I really like liquid blushes right now, so I'm just going to keep these. And then last, for the blush section, we have the creams. I will be getting rid of quite a few of these. Starting with one that's not going anywhere, the Natasha Denona Cupid Cheek Duo. I use this almost every single day. I love the highlight. I love the blush. It's super cute. Then we have this Item Beauty blush. I also received this in an Ipsy bag. Most of the Ipsy products I will be decluttering if I don't love it because I didn't really spend my money on it. It is a unique shade. It's like a hot fire truck red, but like I said earlier in the video, I like more deep reds and wine reds opposed to like an orangey. I just don't like how it looks on my cheeks, so I'm getting rid of this. Same with this Kosas blush. I don't know why. I thought I got rid of this, to be honest. I don't know why I kept it around. It's been smelling like Halloween makeup since like a month after I bought it. Kosas products don't really they expire super quickly because there's no preservatives or anything in them. It's just full on natural, and I don't like the shade of the highlight. The blush was a cute shade, but it just smells, and I'm finally getting rid of it. Then I have this Rose Ink blush. It's just a simple neutral shade. It's nothing special, but I really like the packaging alone. I got this in Ipsy, so I didn't spend my money on it. But I think the packaging is too cute, and I know a lot of people love these blushes. I just wish I had a different shade, but I'm going to keep it for now. I will be getting rid of this Kaja stamp blush though. It was really cute, like when I first bought it. At the end of the day, I don't really use the heart. It doesn't really pick up much product. And then the blush itself, I don't really like the formula. I like dip my brush into the little cushiony part. I'll like dip my brush into this little cushiony part, and I don't know, I just don't like the shade as much. It's really chunky and takes up a lot of space, so I'm gonna get rid of it. Keeping this Merit Beauty blush. It's so cute, and yeah, why not? It's a cute shade. Keeping this About Face blush. It's red, and It's like a hybrid between powder and cream, so I could layer this on top of my powders if I want a red look. And the red shade itself isn't like orangey, it's like a true red. So this is definitely a keep. I have this Tarte cream blush in the shade Big Ego. I don't own any shade like this at all. It is so pretty. I will never get rid of this. It's so cute. Then I have 3 of the e.l.f. Putty blushes. The only difference between these two is one is luminous and one isn't. I'm pretty sure this one is the luminous one. But yeah, I'm going to keep all 3 of these just because I love them so much. They're one of my favorite blushes to use. And I kind of want to get more. I have these 3 Milani cream blushes. I had a point in my life where I really used these as well, and now I don't reach for them as much. I'm going to swatch all 3 of them. The formula is a lot nicer than I remembered. I thought they were going to be all like dry and stuff, but they're super wet still, which is kind of strange. And they're pretty pigmented. Yeah, I'm glad I swatched those because I probably would have thrown them away if they were like all dry and stuff, but look how pigmented those are. There are 3 universal shades. You got berry, you got like a hot pink, and then like a peach. So I'm gonna keep them from now. They might not stay though, just because the packaging is just so simple. I don't really reach for them. Yeah, for now I'll keep them. Then I have these 4 blushes from Undone Beauty. You can't convince me to get rid of either of these. I love the formula of these blushes. This shade is like on and off with me. Again, it's one of those pinky orange shades, but the formula is just too good. I need to keep these. I don't reach for them as much because I haven't really been wearing cream blushes as much, but they're so like sleek. They don't really take up as much room. I got these 2 blushes from Fenty Beauty. This one's in Petal Poppin'. I'm gonna swatch it on my leg. It's kind of like a nice little like neutral pink, and then you have Drama Class, I think. It's this purple shade. Yeah, for sure I'm keeping the purple because I don't have anything like that. This one though, I don't ever use it. Like, I did spend my money on this, so I feel weird just kind of throwing it out. But at the same time, I really don't ever use this blush, so I feel like I should get rid of it. Keeping both of these Rare Beauty cream blushes. I love the formula. I love the packaging. Just alone will make me use them. Then I have this incredible blush. It's like a putty blush. I have honestly, like, I've owned it for so long and I've only like dipped my finger into it because it's so pigmented. And I still have so much left of it. But I think I'm going to get rid of it just because it's a little bit of a tough formula to work with. And I already have that hot pink blush, so I don't really need another one. Got this Refi red blush. It's super cute, just like the About Face one. I'm gonna keep that. This blush I received from an Ipsy bag. It's super pale. I don't know why they would send me this shade or why this blush shade even exists. I don't know anyone who would wear it. It doesn't even show up. It's like a skin color blush. So like, who would this look good on? Like, I'm super pale, and for me it's like, no. I just swatched it. I mean, I guess so. It's just, it looks like a bronzer or something. It's not for me. I'm gonna get rid of it. I have this Kaja blush. I really like the shade of it. It is a nice berry. But I already have so many other berry blushes as well. This, I'm never getting rid of it. It's one of my first blushes in general. And I always go back to it every now and then. It's so cute. It's luminous and it's so pretty. This Huda Beauty liquid or cream blush. Like super luminous and hot pink, keeping it. So I have this Flower Beauty cream blush. I like how this feels on my cheeks when I swipe it, and the color is really cute, so I can keep that. I'm gonna finally get rid of this Milani Supercharged blush. I hate the formula. It's super like wet. I'll show you. Like, it goes on super wet and then you can blend it away into absolutely nothing. So it's almost like tinted Vaseline. It disappears immediately. I'm getting rid of this. I don't know why I kept it so long. I have this Anastasia blush. super cute and neutral, and I ruined it, but it's fine. I'm keeping this. And lastly, for blushes, I have these three by Tower 28. I have this one, which is in the shade Magic Hour. It's super neutral. Then we have After Hours, which is kind of like a berry. That's really cute too. I'm gonna swatch the Milani blush next to it. Okay, they're different shades. I'll keep both of them. I didn't know if they were the same shade or different, so I'll keep that. And then we have the limited edition Party Hour shade, which is like a lilac. Gonna keep that. So for the blushes, this is what we kept. We didn't really throw away or declutter too many, but I expected this section to be the hardest. My camera's dying and it's getting really late, so I think I'm gonna finish my declutter tomorrow. I'm gonna finish putting these blushes away in the drawer, and then yeah, tomorrow after work I'll come back and finish off the last 4 categories. So yeah.